Welcome to another edition of The Naked Truth. I'm your host, Ramon Roan.
And John Singletary.
And today's video is entitled, Black Man, Lady Justice is Unfaithful to You. First, we'd like to thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your time watching this video. And also, we would like you to subscribe and visit our website at www.jfrinc. Our mission is we're all about justice. And that's not just justice for Black people, but justice for all Americans in this country. We just did a video on the Eric Gardner situation, and with the case and with Michael Brown, and cases other cases, we're seeing that throughout history, John. Mm-hmm. The title of this video was about Unfaithful Lady Justice. Now, if you have ever had, it reminds me of the scripture about Gomer when he had to marry the prostitute in the Bible. Mm-hmm. You know, he married a prostitute. Yeah. You already know what you got, but we are married to a justice system that's unfaithful to the Black man. It's unfaithful, John.
So are you saying Lady Justice is a prostitute?
Man, it's a prostitute. Yeah, he said it's a prostitute. It's a prostitute. Now, it goes out to the highest bidder. It goes to the highest bidder. John, look, how we've been getting, look, throughout history. One, you go ahead down to while we're in slavery, after slavery, 14th Amendment passed, we're free, we're citizens, you know, and so, but you're only a part citizen. Here it is, 100 years later, 1964, 65, Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act 1964, and we're still fighting to get Lady Justice, the prostitute,
who's buying and who's selling.
That's right. Who's buying, who's selling?
Who's buying, who's selling?
That's
She's
right.
a prostitute.
She's a well, I'm gonna tell you who's buying. Money's buying.
Money's buying.
Money's buying, and also ethnicity's buying. But money's buying, because if you have, such in our case, our civil cases, you know that justice, if justice was truly blind, which we know justice doesn't look at, justice is wearing bifocals. This has got bifocals on.
And the scales are tipped.
And the scales are tipped.
Sure. We take a look at, there's a cartoonist, his name is, I think it's Shapiro. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he has a caricature that depicts Lady Justice on the ground being raped by some judges. Mm-hmm. And so when you consider that Lady Justice is blindfolded on the ground, why do we continually allow people or our judicial system to hide behind justice? It's almost like, and a Lady Justice is that. It's almost like when Lord came and said, well, Adam said, hey, wait, Lord, the lady you gave me. The lady you gave
That's right.
Me,
the lady
she called me.
She calls it.
So,
right.
Wait a minute. He says, no, forget the lady. I'm talking about what I left in terms of instructions for you. This is between me and you.
That's right.
Not the lady.
That's right.
So in this country, we take Lady Justice and hide behind when we got predominantly white male judges.
Yeah.
Hiding again, hiding behind a lady. Mm-hmm. Adam at that time was being a coward, hiding behind the lady.
You're sure enough.
These judges are like cowards, hiding behind this impression of justice called Lady Justice.
Right.
When women in America had to fight for rights just like we did.
Yeah, sure did. That's right.
And so how can you mean to tell me if justice is a Lady Justice, that she is going to deny rights in America to her own kind?
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
So Lady Justice is a myth.
Yeah.
In that it does not exist.
Doesn't exist.
You're right that we never get justice as African Americans on the whole.
No.
From the system, and that's because the system, when we take a look at it, is designed for them. Malcolm X talked about, you know, how in the world can you expect to get justice from a system that's designed by them for them? And the truth of the matter is, when that system was first constructed,
we were a thing, and we're like cows.
Considered right. as a human, and so justice did not apply to us at all, period. It's not designed for us.
Right.
Now that we are citizens, then justice should be available in equal proportions to all citizens.
Well,
But we're not getting that. So that's why, we've always said, because, with the Judicial Freedom Riders, we advocate for due process, equal protection of the law. And that's extremely important because everything follows justice,
Yeah,
the justice system.
Right.
Even if you become a millionaire, billionaire, they can haul you into the court, and the judicial system can literally take that away from you. And so, if we have a fair justice system, then you're able to not only accumulate, but to keep what you accumulate.
Right.
And so our justice system right now, and it's always been that way, is handled by predominantly white males. And that's simply wrong in America, particularly when you consider that there's no parity.
Right.
There's no proportional assignment, so that there can be a greater consideration for all races.
All races, right. Go ahead. All right. What I want to say is my mind thinking about is that when these young brothers or sisters, they get pulled over by the law and they feel that they've been done wrong, they fight, they resist the law. And we would tell them, John, you and I would say, hey, fight them in court.
Exactly right.
But we're telling them to fight them in court in a battle that they are that's set against them. That is a stacked deck. Because the lady justice is a prostitute.
Sure she is.
Yeah.
But at least they have the opportunity to fight.
Right. I'm not
If they fight
going
on
to tell
the
them.
street with a police officer,
They're going to lose. That's right.
game over. Somebody else has to fight.
At least they'll be walking away with their life.
Exactly.
But here's the frustration part of it is that when they get to court, they find themselves in another battle.
Exactly right.
And
But that's
the
a battle we fight downstream. The first thing is to get to that battle.
Well, you know what? And then you brought out the point about our justice system. We need to have proportionate amount of the judges to represent the population. And that's one of our missions in the Judicial Freedom Riders, because 63% of the population is white. But you got 90% of the judges are white.
Sure.
How is that, so who, and then...
How's that fair? It's not fair.
It ain't fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. So in order for us to have a virgin for Lady Justice, we got to do some work.
We got a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
if we take a look at the article that was done by the Crisis of Conscience, that was titled The Crisis of Conscience, and you can look it up on the internet. You take a look at, particularly in the South, how it shows most of the judges belonging to invidiously discriminating organizations, all white members. Judge Marchant, who's a federal judge here in South Carolina, belongs to Forest Lake Country Club, and that club says white members only.
Yeah.
Every case, we talked earlier even about, summary judgment, no indictment, and how African American cases, more likely than not, in South Carolina, will be issued a summary judgment, Rule 56 in the federal court, that ends the case without allowing it to go to the jury, even though the way they're doing it is unjustified.
Right.
And when you
and even worse if you're a pro se litigant.
Of course.
Yeah.
Even worse if you're a pro se litigant. But when you take a look at, you got a white judge who belongs to a white supremacy known racist organization that he continually associates with, and then you allow him to stay on the bench. What kind of justice is that?
Yeah, right.
Certainly not one that you can trust.
No, you can't trust it.
And the cases that continually complain about him and being on the bench and the tactics that they're using, those cases ought to be reopened.
Yeah, and that's just
one judge.
That's just one judge. But there are hundreds, if not thousands, of judges like him. And so this is what, whether or not you don't have to be in South Carolina to have a bad judge. You can be in Texas, you can be in Georgia, you can be in Virginia. Name a state that you can go to that you think you're going to get fair justice. And you're thinking that, well, okay, the law, your rights are violated. That judge is not concerned about whether or not your rights are violated. He don't.
not.
He don't care. He don't care.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. He doesn't care. I mean, he's going to say, well, he's going to come up with some kind of excuse or why, some technicality or why you get. But he knows good and well that if it was his son or his daughter in that situation as a plaintiff, he's going to make sure that child gets justice.
Listen, I had a case in front of Judge I had a case. Judge Marchant was not even assigned to the case.
Mm-hmm.
Not even assigned to the case and made a ruling on the case.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, hey, listen, give me that case. Oh, give me that case over here, and I'm going to end it.
Right.
Even though I'm not the assigned judge.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like that's an isolated incident,
Right.
because Judge Nicholson did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He had, during a session, he found that I had initiated another case.
Mm-hmm.
He had someone to go down and pull that case, bring it up, decided he was going to terminate the case, then he turned around and concealed the records in the case,
Right.
so that I would not have the right to judicial review.
Right. Right. Right.
What kind of justice is that?
Look, man. I had no. I 15 years ago.
That's criminal. Somebody should go to jail.
Somebody's going to. 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I always thought that the justice system was fair. I thought so.
Mm-hmm.
I thought so. But I
used to think that too.
Yeah. I'm like, look, I defended the Constitution with my life for 10 years, serving the military.
Yeah.
I was thinking that the justice system is fair. We need to take it to the court. But I am now mature enough through the justice system to understand it's not fair. And we need to have
as corrupt as it can get.
It's about as corrupt, and we need to change that. Yeah, we need it, because right now, every black person that you're going before the justice system, look here, consider that you're dealing with an unfaithful justice system. It's not faithful to the law. They say we're a country of laws. It's according to the rule of law. Look, it doesn't.
It's a bunch of crap.
That's what it is. It is. Sure enough, it is. And
Just recently, my mom had a piece of property that was paid off completely. In retaliation,
listen to this closely now.
Master and Equity Judge Judge Scarborough, Mikhail Scarborough, in Charleston County, South Carolina, allowed someone to come into the court, fraudulently provide documents that she has a note and has not paid it. Now the deed is sitting in our safe, and allows them to literally steal her property. He gives them a master and equity title to the property that they have no connection to, and there is not even a note on the property, and walk out the courtroom, just stole her property. And you telling me the justice system is fair?
Uh-huh.
And now this is the same judge that Judge Nicholson, remember, terminated the case against Judge Mikhail Scarborough in order to protect him, and then sealed the record so nobody would know about it. But Judge Scarborough, even after the situation was brought before him, he still has not properly signed the documents to give her property back.
And what was her crime, John? You know what the
She's
crime
black.
was?
In America.
In America.
She's black in America. You just walk into the courtroom and they allow your property to be sold to somebody else. Can you imagine that?
Can't imagine that. Can't imagine that.
You go to work, you got your car, you come out, car's gone, no, sold.
Sold.
Your car's paid for. The judge let somebody else sell it and just frolic off with it.
Right.
And so those are the kinds of things that we talk about when we say that Lady Justice is not blind. She's peeping out from under the blindfold. The scales are tilted.
Sure enough.
And there's some money in the background.
I don't even think she used condoms. I don't think so. She's a prostitute.
No
man.
protection.
No protection at all. Sure enough, no protection at all. Well, please subscribe to this channel. We appreciate your time on this edition of The Naked Truth. And again, our Lady Justice is unfaithful. And we need to do something about that. Visit us at www.jfrinc.org. We'd like to thank you again for your time. And this has been another edition of
The Naked
Truth.